You might have high functioning anxiety and not even realize it. Most people think of anxiety as panic attacks, shutting down, people that can't leave the house, a lot of avoidance. They don't realize that anxiety can be something that people experience on the inside and look really functional, successful, and even thriving on the outside. This is a hard experience for people because it doesn't get enough awareness on the outside. They also can not realize they have a problem inside. Now, high functioning anxiety is not an official diagnosis in the DSM. To me, it's more of a presentation of what anxiety can look like, or a way of coping with anxiety that might look a little bit different. That doesn't mean that this is any easier to deal with than a different kind of manifestation of anxiety. The women that I work with that have high functioning anxiety, they never stop moving because they're so afraid to slow down. They give themselves a hard time because they're not productive enough. Or when they finally burn out from working so hard and pushing so much that they need to take a nap on the couch, they feel bad and guilty for that. A lot of times it's difficult for them to slow down because they might sit with and feel some uncomfortable feelings that arise. These people are constantly trying to figure out how can they do more. They're constantly bracing because something bad could happen if they drop the ball. They don't keep going. They prepare more. They try to be more organized. They try to show up better. They did not want to think and feel this way, but they learned it somewhere along the way. That maybe as a child they learned that if they weren't responsible, that the thing that needed to happen wasn't going to happen, and that it all kind of hinged on their shoulders. I find that a lot of women talk about doing group work in high school or college and being the one that did the whole assignment because they didn't trust that other people were going to do it or they were let down. Another experience that reinforced this preparation or always being on was being embarrassed. Something happened, they were unprepared, or they saw someone else embarrassed because they weren't prepared for something, and they never wanted to feel that way. People with high functioning anxiety can be sensitive people who care about doing a good job and they don't want to be embarrassed, as is the whole human experience. One of the really tricky things about why high functioning anxiety is difficult to see is because it's often praised or reinforced by other people of, oh my gosh, you can do it all, you're superwoman, you're the one that we can rely on or depend on, you're always available, you always say yes. So then it becomes a good thing, and inside these people are exhausted. They might even be getting resentful because they don't want to say yes, but they do because of a large part of guilt, or they don't want to feel what might be underneath all of that. High functioning anxiety, still anxiety. It still impacts people's day to day, and they deserve better. They deserve to not feel like they always have to be on, that they can't rest, that they have to be productive, that they have to be dependable. They deserve compassion too. They deserve space to be a human too. They don't have to be the one that everybody relies on, the one that everybody counts on all the time. High functioning anxiety is treatable. There is a way forward and a way of doing something different. You can slow down. You can not wake up at 3 a.m. with your heart racing, thinking about everything that you're dreading doing because you didn't feel like you could say no. You can take care of yourself. You can set healthy boundaries. You can still be that person that is kind, caring, service oriented. It's more about choosing when you have capability and capacity to do that rather than coming from a place of guilt. If you're listening to this and you're thinking, wow, that sounds like me, you're not alone. Many women relate to this and have functioned this way. You shouldn't feel bad about it. This is what's helped you survive so far, and maybe there's a different way of doing it. Maybe you can feel differently about your life and yourself. Therapy can help. If you are looking for a therapist and you're located in Utah, I help women all the time with high functioning anxiety. I would love to help you. My information is in the notes below. You can schedule a 15-minute phone consultation, start doing something much different.